to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and the sports capital of the world. Well, today, again, my co-host, Shelly Stevens. Today we have a special guest, none other than Vinny Jarman. Vinny Jarman is a hell of a guy, a good friend of mine for over 15 years. And on top of that, you've done so many things in the sports world, and you've been an actor for over 40 years.
Yes.
Okay, so Vinny, tell us a little bit about your background. Now, you were an actor before I met you. Now, tell me some of the series that you were involved with.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And at the late part of my life, in my late 20s, I was already married and I had 2 children, and I wanted to go to acting school. So I did. And I stayed with the program for 2 years. And then there was an audition for some lookalikes, and Woody Allen was casting. And I got called for that. I sent some photos in, and I got called. And when he saw me, he fell in love right away. He gave me the part right away. So
what part was that?
I played James Cagney because I don't know about now, but when I was a little younger, I looked like him a lot.
You still favor him.
Yeah. So that was great. And the movie was Zelig. It was my first film. Brand new out of theatrical school, didn't really know anything about the business. And I did a scene with Mia Farrow, which was a big thrill for me. And it's a funny thing because they paid me a few dollars extra not to portray James Cagney because Woody Allen is very secretive about his projects until they get released formally. So I'm telling the production manager, no, you don't have to pay me any extra. I won't portray James Cagney for any other media. I love Woody Allen. I'm a fan. Don't worry about it. Because I don't know anything about the business. Right. He said, no, this is business. You have to take the money. I said, okay. He says, I'm going to give you a check for $500. I says, would you give me a contract? I'll go right over to Screen Actors Guild and try to get my Screen Actors Guild card. And that's what they did. So immediately, through 2-3 months out of theatrical school, I'm a member of the Screen Actors Guild.
And this is 40 years ago?
Yeah, about 42 years ago now.
And $500, that's big money back then.
Oh, yeah. But I believe me, I was happy to give it to the Guild.
Yeah.
Because it was hard becoming a member. Now it's probably more like $4,000 to join. Yeah.
I remember when I got mine, it was $350.
Jeez.
Yeah. that was about, 18 years ago when I did the Rocky movie.
Oh, yeah.
When I did the movie with Eddie Murphy, I Spy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When Antonio Banderas, Woody Harrelson played to the bone. I said, I want to catch up to Vinny. I like what Vinny's doing. Go ahead.
No, so from that, we got a few other movies. I did a nice scene with Paul Hogan in Crocodile Dundee Part 2. Wow. And I was up on a ledge of a building, and I was going to jump off, and Paul Hogan casually comes walking out on the ledge.
And you were playing who that?
My role was called a ledge suicider. Wow. And, I was having problems in my love affair, and Paul Hogan was trying to...
This is in a movie, not in real life.
No, I might have been there too once or twice. But it was in a movie. But what some folks don't know is it wasn't green screen. We were actually up on the 23rd floor ledge.
Right.
And 3 stories down below, they had built a scaffolding. So that's where all the camera crew was, et cetera. But I was pretty nervous up there. And I said to Paul Hogan, I says, Paul, I don't know about you, but I'm nervous, but you don't seem nervous. He says, the reason being, he says, are you familiar with the Sydney Harbour Bridge where the amphitheater is in Australia? I said, yeah, well, I've seen pictures of it. He says, that's how I started my career. I used to paint that bridge, so I'm not afraid of heights.
Wow.
So did you actually jump off?
No, what had happened was when Paul Hogan found out who my lover was, it was somebody of the same gender. Oh. He let go and he slipped off.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So, but it was a great scene, and even to this day, that was 1987. People still remember that scene.
Right.
So it was great fun, great experience, and I was happy to be part of that.
Wow.
And I worked with some of the greats in the business. I worked with Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone, John Travolta, a lot of the modern big names.
Those 3 guys you just mentioned there, they were friends of mine at the fights. They always come to the fights. All 3 of those guys.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis was a hell of a nice guy.
Yeah.
He was married at the time with Debbie Moore.
Right.
And then, John Travolta, I also met him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis was funny because we were on a set of a movie called Sunset. We filmed it out in California.
Right.
And I'm outside the set. It was at the Roosevelt Hotel.
Right.
And he comes out and he introduces himself to me. He shakes my
the
hand.
hotel's still there, you know that?
Oh yeah, that's a very famous hotel.
Old hotel. Have you seen the bar there now?
I'm sorry, Joe?
Have you seen the bar where it looks like the bar?
No,
it's
no.
It's all marble, all wall. It's about 20 feet high, all marble wall, beautiful. It still looks the same as it was.
Well, that was the scene of the very first Academy Awards,
Yeah.
and that's why we were there filming.
Wow.
Yeah, and it had like lookalikes myself, again, James Cagney, Tom Mix, a few of the others at that time. And he comes out, but he shakes my hand. He says, "Hi, I'm Bruce Willis." Like,
So
I said, "Yeah, no."
How did you go from the acting world into the boxing world? And
Okay. Well, I became friendly with this gentleman right here through a mutual friend.
All right.
And
Ralph Ortiz.
Ralph
In
Ortiz, very rest in peace. Yeah, and it was an honor to meet Joe. I used to watch Joe on television, you know. And I said, "Wow, Joe Cortez, holy mackerel!" You know, everybody makes a big deal, you know.
You sound like my husband.
Yeah. And so one day, Joe and I, we happened to be having breakfast together at a local restaurant, and he says, "Hey, Vinny, you know, your background with the, aviation security, you're very serious. You look out for things that are not supposed to be, abnormal kind of stuff, anomalies." And he says, "What do you think about becoming a boxing inspector?" I had no clue. "Joe, what's that?" And then he explained to me the duties of a boxing inspector, which is really, the technical term is unarmed combat sports. And I said, "Wow, that sounds interesting." So he introduced me to Alex Ibarra, who happened to be the chief.
Of the inspectors.
Yeah, and there was an opening, and then they brought me in, and I liked what I was doing with some of my some of the people that were guiding me through and showing me the ropes, and it was a hands-on experience right away, which I really appreciated. It wasn't like stand off the corner and watch, like an inspector would sign off on the hand wraps, and he says, "Okay, now you do the other one." So and then they'd bring me into the ring or the cage if we were doing UFC, and great experience. And I stayed with it for a year and a half, and then I had to go with my records of all the shows that I've done, and go before the Nevada State Athletic Commission. And Joe was there, and Alex was there as well, and they spoke on my behalf. And they, between what they said, which was very, very big, very important, and then they saw my records on paper, and they said, "It's unanimous. We all decided that you're going to be the next inspector."
Yeah, you were 5 commissioners, and you had the chairman, 4 commissioners, and executive director.
Yes, sir, who was Bob Bennett at the time.
Right.
Yeah. So that was a big day. Then they brought me downstairs, and they presented me my badge, and that was a day I won't forget. Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
What an illustrious.
I remember we went for Jerry's Nugget that afternoon after you guys got approved by the commission.
Yeah.
We were celebrating, not drinking, but we were just celebrating with lunch.
Nice
but
lunch.
It was nice to having you. It was Harvey Doc, Jack Reese, Mark Nelson, and
Right. And Big John McCarthy.
John McCarthy too, the
Yeah, he
MMA
was
guy.
there. That's right.
Well,
yeah.
you know, all those guys, John McCarthy, I had him come over to my house, and a couple of MMA guys. I had a ring, the boxing ring, and I was showing them the moves that I do as a referee, just positioning of how to jump in, what to stop a fight.
Right.
When they first started out with the MMA, that's over 15 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was with you as a helper when you created this idea to raise the judges
Right.
above the ring for
Yeah.
better viewing and better scoring.
Exactly.
It would be nice if that ever happened, Joe.
Well,
because
Ring Magazine, I thought they were going to give me a little script, but they gave me 4 pages. We want the director of the publisher of the magazine says, "Joe, that is the most ingenious, but the most simplest, but most ingenious idea I ever heard. Raising the position of the judges so they can look down. Instead of here, they're looking up with the lights and the rope, and the angle that they're sitting is bad angle." But anyway,
But the best part of that was we were scoring with the judges. We had actual fighters in the ring, and the judges were sitting in their normal seats and scoring. And then when we raised them up higher, the scores were more accurate.
yeah, they can
So-
see better from yeah.
So that was a brilliant idea.
Yeah,
And
we have real some of the top judges here in Nevada working with me on
Yes.
that program that day, and it was a test to see how would it come out. I went to Mexico to give a seminar at WBC, and Mauricio Suleiman was the president, and he said, "Joe, I like the idea. I think we may do that here in Mexico." I said, well, we can start with the 4 rounders, the 6 rounders, and then not the main event, but later on, once you get the results, you see it really is a very effective. He said, Joe, we're going to try that. It never happened.
Yeah.
We're still waiting. It's been over 10 years, but
well, I just hope if it does ever happen that you get the credit for it.
I don't want credit. I want cash.
That too. Then you can take me out to breakfast again.
Well, you have some pictures I know that you gave us. I want you to go through these pictures and tell everybody what they are all about and everything. All right. Let's see. There's the first one.
Okay, so this is a cage match. That's Alex Pereira. He's the big champion right now.
On the left?
Yes, sir. And that's one of the Russian fighters. His name escapes me right now. And it's Mark Goddard, and one of the referees.
And that's you with is that you back there?
That's me in the red jacket.
Yeah.
When we do the formal shows, the big T-Mobile shows, we have to come out with the red jacket and a tie.
So when they come out the dressing room and they tell them about what you do when they're in the ring.
Well, when they're in the ring, we go into the ring with them after each round, and we want to look for anything that the fighter has, if there's any scarring or anything like that. We want to see that the fighter is coherent and responding to his coach.
And if he's not?
If he's not, I get the referee's attention. I'll tell him what I see or have heard, and then I'll also get a hold of the ringside doctor so they can really follow them closely. It's all about safety.
Now, the referees are allowed to call the doctor on their own, or they have to wait for you to call them?
No, they don't have to wait for me. No, the referees can call the doctor. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, but it was both of you guys better have 2 guys. The doctors come down on their own too, right?
They can, but usually what we try to do is give him a little heads up. Hey, doc, do you notice that mouse under his right eye? Oh, yeah. And we'll let the cutman know as well.
How about when they got a concussive blow to the head?
It's a referee call.
Can the doctor come in?
Absolutely. Once the time is called, the doctor comes in. One of the inspectors will go in with him and assist in any way that's needed.
And what else can you find? Some of these trainers, I'm not saying all trainers, but there's some that are not too clean about doing things. They may do things that are unethical. What do you look for, like in the dressing room and at the ringside?
Well, we in the dressing room, we look for any food or drink that they bring from the outside. We don't want them mixing stuff in their water bottles. We don't want them bringing open containers from the outside. There's no energy drinks allowed, no soda, nothing with caffeine. We don't want to give one fighter an edge over his opponent because of something that they may have ingested. So, and then we have them drug tested. And we really have to be very careful that it's just water, Gatorade, Powerade. That's about it.
Okay, now when they're drug tested, what is your position in the dressing room when they're getting drug tested?
Well, when they're getting drug tested, that's a private with the drug tester, and they have to actually watch the test. So they have to be in there with them.
In other words, when they got to urinate into a little bottle, they got to be making sure that thing is in the bottle.
Yeah, it's coming from the right spout into the cup.
Because they could do some crooked stuff. They can have a trainer could give them something to put it in the pocket, and they can take it out of the pocket and pour it from the bottle, which is not their urine. Yeah. It could be from a trainer. But that's why you guys got to be in there watching, making sure.
Absolutely.
Let me see. No. Let me move on here. I want to see that in the cup.
Yeah. No, there was a time that we had to be certified. We were doing it.
Yeah.
But now they've hired companies, and their representatives are actually watching.
They're actually watching.
Yeah. But once we get them away from the drug test, we have to keep eyes on that fighter until they're ready to leave the building.
Okay. Let's see some more pictures. I know we got a couple more. Yeah. That's one of my favorite pictures.
that's one of the nights where we went to, my wife and I, we went to Lola's to see Wesley and Shelley perform.
Oh my goodness,
and
that
Joe,
was such a night.
And that was a great night because you guys are fantastic performers.
Thank you, Vinny.
I wish I'd have met you years before.
Well, I remember when they go.
Okay, this is one of the events. I happened to become friendly with members of Earth, Wind, and Fire, one of my favorite bands. And this is backstage after one of their shows. And a fellow on the right is Verdine White. He's the brother of Maurice White, who created the band.
Right.
That's my wife that he's hugging and flirting with, it looks like.
John Horn, right?
And that's John Paris. He's the drummer.
John Paris.
And actually, right now, John Paris's wife, Kathy Merrick, is with Verdine's wife, Shelley Clark White, and it's another lady, Wendy, and they actually are performing as Honeycomb, because Shelley, Verdine's wife, is an original member of a group called Honeycomb.
I remember them.
Yeah, they were magnificent. Yeah, they had some big hits.
Wow.
And to see them perform now, they're as good as ever.
Now, this is where we were at the back of your house.
Oh yes,
That's
all
my
of us.
backyard, and that's some of the members of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Shelley, and Wesley, and Joe.
Aww.
And after a nice dinner, we went in the backyard, took some photos.
Oh, we had a great time.
And for my wife and myself, I'm floored and honored that you people and some of the other band members come to my home. It's
Oh no, we feel the same. We're honored to be there with you.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm just honored.
I remember I had a Earth, Wind, and Fire. I invited them after that to my show, and they were all on my show. It was really nice.
My favorite part is when you took out the
fire extinguisher. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, Earth, Wind, that was when my director here, Rick Manning, had a studio near the Decatur on the east side. Now we're here on the west side here. A beautiful studio here. And Rick Manning, one of the greatest directors you want to find in the studio. And you got anybody wants to do a show, create your own podcast talk show, come here and see Rick Manning. He'll gladly put you on, do your half-hour show like I've been doing for the last close to 10 years already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rick is the best. We actually met Rick before I met you.
Right.
He shot a video of us. We were doing a performance at the Liberace Museum. Yeah, and he was the guy that shot the video, and it was great. We love Rick. Yeah.
So now tell me, what's on the horizon for you now? Now you got a movie coming out?
Yes, we finally made a full-length feature film. This friend of mine who's also a boxing inspector, his name is Maynard Bagang. He's a retired Metro Police officer, gang unit. And the movie is called The Sanctuary. And this coming Monday, Memorial Day, we're having a red carpet event for that film showcase.
Where's that going to be at?
It's going to be at the Red Rock Hotel, and it's the Regal Theaters. And it's a small theater, but we sold out.
Great.
Sold out.
When is that? This coming Monday, Memorial Day?
This coming Monday.
And what time is that?
The movie should air at 5:15 p.m. and the red carpet event will be at 4:15 p.m.
Nice. So you viewers out there watch it. If you can get in, you can try your luck. But it's sold out, but you never know.
That's right. You never know.
Wow.
At least you can see them at a distance and wave at Vinny and whoever else, all the celebrities going to be there.
Yeah.
So-
Monday at 4:15, red carpet event.
Yes.
5:15, they go on the big screen.
Right. Red
Wow.
carpet at the Regal Theaters.
Do we have any more
Red
pictures we can show? Let's see. I'm
All
so
right.
into this, really. I was looking forward to you being on the show today.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seriously.
I know you've invited me in the past, and for different reasons, I couldn't make it, but I'm certainly happy that I'm here
Can
now.
you tell me a little bit about, now you've been doing some big fights. What's some of the biggest fights you've been as an inspector? Big name fighters.
Well, big name fighters, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
I was in Andre Berto's corner when he fought. I was with Keith Thurman when he fought Manny Pacquiao. I was with Deontay Wilder when he fought Tyson Fury on their second fight of their trilogy.
Yeah, right.
As far as MMA, I've been with John Jones. He's the number one MMA fighter that they've ever had.
How about Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor, I've been with him, and I was also in the corner with Dustin Poirier on Conor McGregor's turned out to be his last fight. That's the night that Conor McGregor's foot snapped, and his foot was just dangling.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So
Is he fighting? I think he's coming back again, making a comeback?
he's supposed to be coming back for the July 4th at the White House.
Wow.
So Dana White and President Trump are going to have a show there at the White House.
Is that July 4th?
I don't know the specific date, but it's going to be for the July 4th holiday. It might be somewhere in June even. But
I remember I trained Conor McGregor when he fought Floyd Mayweather. They had me sign a contract with them for 5 weeks. So I had him, while he was sparring in the ring with his opponent, I had to be dressed as a referee, and I called the rules. I corrected him. When he made a mistake, I would call time. I would correct him, making sure that he would make those mistakes, like hitting behind the head or trying to hit his opponent when he goes down. So we're doing this. He would give a clean fight with Floyd Mayweather. I was surprised that it went 10 rounds. You know, he handled himself okay. He made a cool $100 million for that fight.
I know, and I think Floyd made twice as much.
Yeah, exactly. but working with Conor McGregor, he came up with a tough walk that he does. I said, hey, buddy, chill, man. Not with me. I'm going to be your coach here.
He flails his arms.
And I took him aside. We talked privately. Him and I said, listen, Conor, I'm going to tell you one thing. All that stuff that you do, not with me, okay? Yeah. I'm going to coach you, and I'm going to be with you 5 weeks. But if you start with that stuff, I'm walking away.
Right,
He said, Mr. Cortez, I'm sorry. I only do that to promote my shows. I'm not that kind of a guy. As a matter of fact, I want you to be my wife and the baby. He had a little baby. Give me the baby to hold the baby like 5 months old. He seemed like to be a real nice guy, And he fought Floyd Mayweather. People say, Joe, everybody saying that you're going to favor Mayweather because you know him real good. I said, I know all the fighters good, but I'm not close to nobody. I've always tried to be as clean and neutral as possible, and I'm going to do my job. And you know what? It's just the way I am as a referee. You got to be neutral. I don't pick sides.
Exactly.
I'm there to do my job. That's the way you got to be yourself as an inspector.
Exactly.
You can't favor nobody. Can't hug these fighters. You got to stay away from those guys. You're like a policeman in there. You're there to do your job. Yep. They got to respect you. If not, you go to jail.
No, you can't favor anybody. It's got to be neutral across the board. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, Vinny, now you've been acting. You've been. You were TSA, you just retired from the TSA? What?
I was an original hire back in Burbank.
How many years you were in the TSA?
I just retired this past April 30th after 23 and a half years.
That's at the airport, checking everybody that come in?
Right.
They get to security check. You were the guy with the badge there, making sure everything was going through okay.
Right.
After the 9/11?
After 9/11, yeah. Being a New Yorker, everybody had their own feelings about what had happened, but to me it was somewhat personal,
right.
being a New Yorker and watching those, because I remember as a teenager working on the docks with my dad when there was no school.
Right.
I was watching those buildings go up simultaneously.
Right. Exactly.
And then we never thought that was going to happen.
Right.
So that was my opportunity to give back.
Yeah.
I was drafted in 1970. I was classified 1A. In the draft, they took the numbers from 1 to 100 in my city. I was number 93. So for sure, I'm going to Vietnam.
Right.
I'm still waiting for my letter to report the basic training.
Right.
So since I didn't spend any time in the military, this was my opportunity to do something nice for the country.
To pay it back. Yeah, sure. It was a sad moment to see. And I never forget those days, the two Twin Towers going down the way they did.
Yeah.
It was something unheard of. That's why we always tell people, you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Especially at the airports.
Absolutely.
There's so many people in and out from both walks of life. You got to watch. You ever got people come up to you and say, sir, I see something's fishy over here?
We've had people approach us and mention about individuals. We've had people tell us about unattended bags, and we have to respond to that. Yeah. Absolutely. And there are cases where we have to incorporate the Metro Police to assist us, because we don't carry firearms.
Right, and that's why you see the Metro Police at the airport, all airports.
Yes. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's necessary.
Yeah, if we don't have that, that's why sometimes you go to the airport, you see Metro Police outside. By the gates outside there, you see 2 or 3 cars there. I always say, if something go wrong, but just that's their duty. They got to be there.
It's a presence, but every once in a while, somebody will get out of hand, and then it becomes more than a presence.
Right.
People get handcuffed and carted off to
Well, we want to
jail.
thank you for your services, what you did with TSA at the airport for so many years, over 15 years, right?
Yeah.
And you've been
23.
23, and you've been out retired 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
How does it feel being retired?
Oh, it's quite lovely. My wife's got me going to stores with her, and
spending money,
helping to make the bed, that kind of thing.
You sound just like me and Wesley.
I remember when you first got the house that you're in now was about 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
We went out. You came up, say, I'm making a move to Las Vegas, Joe.
Yeah.
And that's when you said, okay, we started looking for a home, and there was a guy named Holt. What was his name?
Monk.
Monk
was the realtor.
Yeah, realtor. You and I were looking at a place. They're in near Jones and
Tropical.
And Tropical. We were looking, and we went to this place, and the gate was open. We went in, and we were looking around. We saw this guy say, hey, you know, any houses around here for sale? And then He said, you go see the house over there. We went there. There's a guy named Monk. His name is Monk. We knocked on the door.
Yeah.
And the guy comes there having a party there.
He was all dripping wet from his pool.
Yeah, he was in bathing suit and everything. And he says, and then he came. Then you told him we're looking for a house, you know. And they told me to call you, and then he took us around. But actually, you told him that Joe's in the car there.
Yeah, he asked him, "Are you a boxing fan?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Well, say hello to the car there, to my friend Joe Cortez." What, Joe Cortez? Oh, come on out, come on to my house. And he's sitting down at his computer, soaking wet, and he's looking for a house for me.
And he found out he was a party. They had a birthday party. They invited us inside to come in.
Yeah.
And remember, they had a big cake. They cut the cake for us and everything. I said, "Wow, we're supposed to be shopping for a home, and here we are at a birthday party."
He doesn't know us from Adam. He's told us, go look at my house and see the rooms. And he's sitting at the computer.
Yeah, and we see you saw the house, and that's the house that you end up buying.
Yes.
Yeah, I was with you when that happened.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Great memory.
Nice. And we moved out to be near you and your family.
Yeah,
because we love you guys so much.
Yeah, feeling is mutual. You know, you guys out there watching. You know, these are the kind of friendships that we have. This is for real. This is a real friend. This is the kind of guy that he's like a brother. You know, he's always been by my side. I always been by his side. He knows I love him so much. And Lucy, she's a hell of a cook. Man, she can cook.
Yeah.
Now you're she's Puerto Rican and you are.
I am German-Irish.
German-Irish.
Raised by an Italian.
I love it.
And your wife is Puerto Rican, man. That girl can cook.
Yes, she can.
I mean, Earth, Wind, and Fire can testify to that.
They leave their hotel to come to my home because they want Lucy's cooking.
That's right, for sure.
And I've already been warned that when they come in October, they'll be at the house this
Exactly,
year.
yeah. Well, that'd be gonna be an honor to see them again, hopefully, and hang out. I know Shirley and Wesley will be there again.
Yeah,
Absolute.
Those guys really. I stay in touch with John Paris here. I gave him a call every so often.
Yeah.
He was the closest of all to me. He called me once in a while to say hello. And I said, you know, what a nice group of individuals.
They're amazing.
I remember having them on the show, on my show, and it was really a lot of fun. And there was a scene in there when they said, today, I guess it's Earth, Wind, and Fire. When I said that, fire, I reached over because I remember there was a fire extinguisher that our director, Rick Manning, had given me, and I pulled it out, and I was Earth, Wind, and Fire with fire extinguisher, and these guys were all cracking up on me. We were sitting at a big blackjack table. Yeah,
that was a fun show.
Yeah, it was good, real fun
and
show.
And they had a good time. They told me they had a good time with you.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was always. It's always good to meet new people and make new friends. But, you know, there's nothing more special than having somebody like you on the show to give all this information, what you've done throughout your whole life. You know, we all have peaks and valleys in our life. But you know what? Sometimes we say to ourselves, we're here today. We're still here. We hope to be around a number of more years to come. Yeah. I don't want to think about what's going to happen 20 years from now. I want to think about what's happening today. What happened yesterday is past. What's happening today and what's going to happen tomorrow. Hopefully, we want good things to be in our favor, in our side. You know, not everybody get to be as lucky as you and I and Shirley. You know, we've been through all of us have been up to ups and downs in life, health-wise. I remember when I got hit with COVID, and I used to call you up almost every 3-4 times a day. Yeah. I used to call Vinny up. I told Vinny, get me out of this hospital.
I was ready to sign myself in myself. He just called me so much.
I was in the hospital for 5 months with that COVID, man. Of course, Vinny did not let me out. I feel like I'm in prison here. Yeah. You got to do me wrong. I got to be out of here.
Yeah, but you fought hard to come back. You really did.
I did. I fought hard, and people thought I was gone. They thought my memory was gone. I said, Joe's crazy, and here I am. I got better memory than most of you guys put together.
Yeah, he does.
better than me for sure.
Me too.
But anyway, I'm glad that we have you at the show today because it's not every day, Shirley, that we bring somebody like
I know.
Vinny.
It was love at first sight when we first met, just like Joe. And Joe is always introduced us to some great people, and we appreciate you and Lucy so much.
Well, thank you very much.
I can't wait till that next dinner.
Yeah, we gotta we gotta come back to Lola's and see Shirley and Wesley perform. They're performing there 5 nights a week now.
Yeah, we got moved up to 5 nights a week.
It was Saturday night. You don't find many acts here in Las Vegas. I mean, good acts with their music. At Lola's 5 nights a week. You're there. What days?
Oh, Wednesday through Sunday. They're closed Mondays and Tuesdays.
But other than that, they're there. So you guys keep watching the Joe Cortez Show. We try to do the best we can to bring you good people like Vinny, Jarman on the show. Shirley back calls, a pretty young lady. And her husband Wesley says, Joe, I can't get her to stop talking about the show. She called me her second husband. I said, what? Anyway.
I do. I call him my work husband. Whenever Lola, because he's at Lola's almost every night we're there. And he has his own little table where he holds court.
Because he knows where to go for great music. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. So when he walks in the door, I always introduce him as my work husband.
One is enough. I don't need two. Okay, guys.
I'm going to talk to Sylvia about that.
Okay, you guys out there, again, don't forget to watch this show every Friday at 2 o'clock on Facebook and our YouTube channel. Keep your guards open all the time. And Vinny, we're fair, but we're firm. Touch them up. And my queen, undisputed champion. Take care. See you next week.
Bye-bye.